Babies are incredibly resilient and have a unique set of reflexes that help them survive in various environments, and one of the most surprising facts about infants is that they can't drown alone, at least not in the classical sense. When a baby is submerged in water, their natural instinct is to hold their breath, and this reflex is so strong that it can actually prevent them from taking in water. This is because the baby's brain sends a signal to the lungs to shut off the airway, which is a response to the sensation of water entering the nose and mouth. As a result, the baby will automatically hold their breath and not inhale any water, which reduces the risk of drowning. But how does this work, and what triggers this reflex? It all starts with the way babies breathe, which is different from adults. Infants have a higher breathing rate and a larger lung capacity relative to their body size, which allows them to take in more oxygen. However, this also means that they are more sensitive to changes in their environment, such as the presence of water. When a baby is submerged, the water stimulates the nerves in their face, which sends a signal to the brain to trigger the diving reflex. This reflex is also known as the bradycardic response, and it's a natural response that all mammals have, including humans. The diving reflex is an automatic response that helps the baby conserve energy and oxygen while they are underwater, and it's triggered by the sensation of water on the face. When the baby's face is submerged, the nerves in their face send a signal to the brain, which slows down the heart rate and reduces blood flow to the extremities. This helps the baby conserve oxygen and energy, which increases their chances of survival. But what's even more surprising is that this reflex is not unique to humans, and many other mammals have a similar response to being submerged in water. In fact, studies have shown that the diving reflex is present in all mammals, from dolphins to seals, and it's a key factor in their ability to survive underwater. For example, when a dolphin is submerged, its heart rate slows down dramatically, which helps it conserve oxygen and energy. This is the same response that babies have when they are submerged, and it's a testament to the incredible adaptability of the human body. But while the diving reflex is an incredible safety mechanism, it's not foolproof, and babies can still drown if they are submerged for too long. So, what happens when a baby is submerged for an extended period? If the baby is underwater for more than 30 seconds, the diving reflex will start to wear off, and the baby will start to inhale water. This is because the baby's lungs are designed to expand and contract, and when they are submerged, the water pressure can cause the lungs to expand and take in water. If the baby inhales too much water, it can lead to a condition called dry drowning, which is when the water enters the lungs and causes them to become inflamed. Dry drowning is a serious condition that can be fatal if not treated promptly, and it's a major concern for parents who have young children. But the good news is that dry drowning is extremely rare, and most babies will not experience it even if they are submerged for a short period. In fact, studies have shown that the risk of dry drowning is less than 1% in babies who are submerged for less than 1 minute. So, what can parents do to reduce the risk of drowning in their babies? The most important thing is to never leave a baby unattended near water, whether it's a bathtub, a pool, or a lake. Babies can slip underwater quickly and quietly, and it's impossible to predict when they will do so. Additionally, parents should always supervise their babies when they are bathing or swimming, and they should never rely on flotation devices or swimming lessons to keep their babies safe. In fact, the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that all babies should take swimming lessons, but only after they are at least 1 year old. This is because babies under the age of 1 are not developmentally ready to learn how to swim, and they may actually be at a higher risk of drowning if they are taught to swim too early. Instead, parents should focus on teaching their babies water safety skills, such as how to enter and exit the water safely, and how to float on their backs. But while swimming lessons and water safety skills are important, they are not a substitute for proper supervision. Parents should always be within arm's reach of their babies when they are near water, and they should never rely on others to watch their babies for them. This includes siblings, grandparents, and even lifeguards, as they may not be able to respond quickly enough in an emergency. In addition to supervision, parents can also take steps to make their homes more water safe. This includes installing gates around pools and bathtubs, and using locks to prevent babies from accessing these areas. Parents can also use flotation devices, such as pool noodles or kickboards, to help their babies stay afloat while they are in the water. But perhaps the most surprising thing about babies and water is that they are naturally drawn to it. From a young age, babies are fascinated by the sensation of water on their skin, and they will often try to touch or play with it whenever they can. This is because water is a natural part of the human environment, and babies are designed to interact with it from birth. In fact, studies have shown that babies who are exposed to water from a young age are more likely to develop a love of swimming and water sports later in life. So, what does this mean for parents who want to teach their babies to swim? The most important thing is to start early, but not too early. Babies under the age of 6 months are not developmentally ready to learn how to swim, and they may actually be at a higher risk of drowning if they are taught to swim too early. Instead, parents should focus on teaching their babies water safety skills, such as how to enter and exit the water safely, and how to float on their backs. As the baby gets older, parents can start to teach them more advanced swimming skills, such as how to kick their legs and move their arms. But the key is to do it gradually and at the baby's own pace, as every baby is different and will develop at their own rate. With patience, practice, and proper supervision, parents can help their babies develop a love of swimming and water sports that will last a lifetime. And who knows, maybe one day their baby will become a competitive swimmer or even a lifeguard, helping to keep others safe in the water. In conclusion, babies are incredibly resilient and have a unique set of reflexes that help them survive in various environments, including water. The diving reflex is a natural response that helps babies conserve energy and oxygen while they are underwater, and it's a key factor in their ability to survive. While the diving reflex is an incredible safety mechanism, it's not foolproof, and babies can still drown if they are submerged for too long. By understanding how the diving reflex works and taking steps to make their homes more water safe, parents can help reduce the risk of drowning in their babies and give them the skills they need to thrive in and around water.